welcome. Amadar Pratap Singh. You're joining us on this special broadcast. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has invited 10 prominent personalities from various fields to join a national movement aimed at raising awareness about obesity and promoting healthier lifestyles. In fact, he also spoke about the issue on his Mann Ki Baat program just yesterday. This initiative aligns with the Fit India movement launched to encourage citizens to adopt fitness as a key part of their daily life. The individuals nominated include Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, businessman Anand Mahindra, actor turned politician Dinesh Lal Yadav urf Nirawa, Olympic medalist Manu Bhaker and Mirabai Chanu, actors Mohan Lal, R. Madhavan, playback singer Shreya Ghoshal, philanthropist and Rajya Sabha MP Sudha Murthy, and Infosys co-founder Nandan Nilikani. The Prime Minister encouraged each nominee to further nominate 10 individuals, amplifying the campaign's reach across diverse communities. Well, remember, of course, in his Mann Ki Baat program, the Prime Minister had discussed the growing problem of obesity, its impact on our health. He had stressed that obesity is linked to several health complications, including heart disease, diabetes and hypertension. Prime Minister Modi also assured that small lifestyle changes such as reducing excessive oil consumption and exercising more can significantly mitigate these risks. The Prime Minister's campaign is aiming to inspire individuals and communities to adopt healthier food habits, reinforcing the message that small dietary adjustments can lead to a fitter and disease-free future. And now, with the involvement of influential figures and the power of collective action, this initiative is aspiring to create a lasting impact on the nation's health. Well, remember, eating habits in recent times have changed drastically. As the pace of our lives has increased, many of us often order food on the go. This has also contributed to an alarming trend, and India is now the third most obese country in the world. What's needed to control obesity in India? How do we become a more healthy nation? Well, we have some very erudite and well-known guests joining us on the broadcast today. But first, let's take a look at what Prime Minister Modi said yesterday on the issue.
साथियों, खाने में तेल का कम उपयोग और ओबेसिटी से निपटना यह केवल पर्सनल चॉइस नहीं है, बल्कि परिवार के प्रति हमारी जिम्मेदारी भी है। खान पान में तेल का अधिक इस्तेमाल हार्ट डिसीज, डायबिटीज और हाइपरटेंशन जैसी ढेर सारी बीमारियों की वजह बन सकता है। अपने खान पान में छोटे छोटे बदलाव करके हम हमारे फ्यूचर को स्ट्रॉन्गर, फिटर और डिसीज फ्री बना सकते हैं। इसलिए हमें बिना देर किए इस दिशा में प्रयास बढ़ाने होंगे। इसे अपने जीवन में उतारना होगा। हम सब मिलकर इसे खेल खेल में बहुत प्रभावी रूप से कर सकते हैं। जैसे मैं आज मन की बात के इस एपिसोड के बाद 10 लोगों को आग्रह करूंगा, चैलेंज करूंगा कि क्या वो अपने खाने में ऑयल को 10% कम कर सकते हैं, और साथ ही उनसे ये आग्रह भी करूंगा कि वो आगे नए 10 लोगों को ऐसा ही चैलेंज दे। मुझे विश्वास है इससे ओबेसिटी से लड़ने में बहुत मदद मिलेगी।
In fact, joining us now live is Gunjan Goyala, celebrity chef and author. We also have Dr. Anjali Huda, MBBS, MD and internal medicine specialist joining us live. Also with us is Shikha Sharma, founder One Health and nutritionist. Dr. DK Gupta, chairman and director Felix Hospital, is also with us on the broadcast. Let me make a start with you first, Gunjan Goyala. What do you make of the Prime Minister's message that he sent out to the nation through his Mann Ki Baat program? Do you believe this is a very pertinent and topical issue that he's picked up? And what kind of impact can these changes and steps like reducing oil in our daily diet have on our overall health?
Well, to begin with, thank you so much for having me on board. And the topmost thing is that this was the most important thing and the most important point that he has raised. And I'm so glad he's made it, put it in Mann Ki Baat, because it reaches almost so many listeners and viewers. See, the concept today is food has become a fashion. It is no more a necessity that we need going to eat that. We start going, it's about word of mouth. We start going to visit different restaurants and different cuisine. Now what happens is, the more often then you eat out in commercial kitchens, their control of oil is not as much as somebody cooking at home. So now, when he is talking about is obesity, that has become India's biggest challenge right now, because the lifestyles have changed. Nobody wants to cook at home. So if you bring back the point of the golden era, say about 40 years back, most of the families would eat together and eat at home. So that was a very interesting point, that the main person who's cooking at home was very conscious how much fat is required for an individual. Therefore, that was controlled. But once you eat out of your house, there is no control, and you like to eat just because it's tastier. Yes, I agree. At times, fat does increase the taste in a dish, but it definitely is not as healthy as the food cooked at home. I would like to emphasize and request everybody present here to take this as a message across, that please encourage people to start cooking at home, maybe one meal to begin with, so that our children also understand what is the heritage and what is the culture of India, to eat that particular food. Now, it's very important now, you of course, to have everything in balance. Our lifestyles are very different. We have everything at hand's distance, be it a remote, be it a video, be it your music system. And most of the time, you're sitting in front of the computer ordering pizzas and burgers, and that is when obesity is followed in your lifestyle. To take a challenge on this and make your routine to have regular exercise and a balanced intake of food, automatically you'll find that there is a change. And of course, if once you control your spices and your oil intake, your body will change, your body will react differently. It is an individual, and I think it's a very good message he has finally given to the country.
Okay, let me take that to Dr. Anjali Huda as well. Now, Dr. Anjali Huda, is this concerning, the fact that obesity is growing in India? What is the reason for this according to you? And how pertinent and topical is this message that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has sent out? Are you hopeful that people will take it seriously and implement these changes?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me. And I practice obesity medicine as my core practice. And I see that India is getting obese day by day. I see diabetes and obesity going hand in hand a lot. And Prime Minister's message is good, but just merely addressing that fat intake is important, not, I mean, is the main issue. It's not. As Gunjanji mentioned, it's a lot of inactivity, it's a lot of junk, it's less of home cooking, because fat is not a bad thing. We don't have to be afraid of fat. We just don't want fat to be in a trans fat or a overly fried food fat. You know, he's a fat. He's a good fat we've had from our cultural heritage. So fat is not a bad thing. So I think I would remodulate this sentence of the PM that आप तेल की जो इस्तेमाल है उसको तलने में मत करिए और कोई भी रिफाइंड तेल मत यूज करिए. दिस इज माय थिंग एंड आई थिंक आई हैव होप since it has gone to Man Ki Baat. I think somewhere some specialist, some government agency will put some restrictions on some things. I don't know, there's so much there's no sugar tax literally. We should have there's so much of junk food available in packets with it's licensed food. That should not be so cheaply available to the people. I think we have to monitor the quality of consumption of food, that we are a big nation. So it has to be price control, right? So it doesn't mean सस्ता है और तो गंदा होना चाहिए. Good food has to be available to everybody. And you see 10 rupees bhujia packet are available on the Panwadi shop. Like, what is this? This is such a bad food full of trans fat and it's available. So government has to has to start there. I mean, eating good food and home food is a great thing. How much can we do it? How it's a fast life. We have to order food sometimes, and kids, especially today, like teenagers, they are not understanding the concept of good food. They don't want to eat home cooked food. They want to order all the time. So if we start educating the mothers, the primary caretaker of the house, and obviously it has to be in college and everything. Like in med school, there is no education on nutrition. There has to be education in every college and school about healthy eating. So that's where I stand.
Yes. Shikha Sharma, let me quickly draw you in here. How hopeful are you that this message, given the fact that it's come from Prime Minister Modi himself on his Mann Ki Baat program, is going to hit home, is going to now spread far and wide? Also, the Prime Minister appointing, 10 individuals, 10 ambassadors from different fields, from, industry to the arts to music to cinema, to take this message forward. At the end of the day, as Dr. Huda was just saying, that it's the youth, the teenagers who need to change their lifestyle. Now, these are all icons, some of them youth icons who've been appointed as ambassadors, like R. Madhavan and like Manu Bhakar. How hopeful are you that this message will spread far and wide and hopefully lead to changes on ground? How topical was this message for you?
Firstly, I would say I think it's a brilliant thing which the Honorable Prime Minister has done, and I'll tell you why it's brilliant. First thing is that any change, whether it's in a corporate or in a family or in a country, starts from the top. So when the Prime Minister says there is a problem, everybody wakes up to that problem. Everybody understands that this is now a priority. Problems are there, but now it becomes a first priority amongst many other things. So I would say it's brilliant. The second thing which I would say is absolutely brilliantly done is that he has identified role models and has asked them to now find 10 more people each. So this is the power of compounding. And I wouldn't be surprised if this goes viral through the country and brings that change which is really needed today in our country. Now, when he picked up oil, now why he has picked up oil is because oil is one thing, like Gandhiji had picked up salt. Oil is one thing which goes into every home, and whether the oil is good or bad, whether the oil is used in high quantity or low quantity, whether the oil is used badly or correctly, it can really make a difference. And today in our country, fatty liver is rising like an epidemic, like a pandemic. Fatty liver is rising, and it's all leading to then whether it is heart problems or whether it is digestive issues, immunity, many other things. So what he's basically saying is focus on one thing, and that is one thing which is very critical. Now, regarding oil, I would say there are three things which are very important. First is good quality oil. We all have to start looking at whether the quality of oil is good or bad. Number two, we have to see that how much are we using. So 1 teaspoon per person per day is the max we have to use. Third thing, are we doing oil rotation? Are we changing the kind of oils we are using? Because like my esteemed panelist has said, that ghee is not bad. It has to be used in small quantity. Similarly, unsaturated fatty acids or essential fatty acids you get from nuts, from other sources, and those are also equally important. So quantity and variety both are very important. And third thing which is very important is, I think subtly the PM is hinting to the industries that they have to get their act together. So he has not said it in so many words, but many times what is not said is also understood by people who are in the industry. So I think this message clearly has gone to the industry also. Get your act together and make healthier stuff. So I'm really hopeful that the industry leaders would have heard him, and they would in the back end now start working on getting healthier versions. So I think brilliant, I would say amazing messaging and the right time, because this country otherwise would land up with serious health issues.
Okay. Dr. D.K. Gupta, let me draw you in here. Dr. D.K. Gupta, at the end of the day, of course, how concerning is this for you as a doctor? And do you see often, patients, having these sort of heart disease risks because of unhealthy lifestyle and because of unhealthy eating habits? Have you seen that trend grow in the last few years?
And thank you so much on being on my board. I will tell you that obesity is one of the root cause for most of the lifestyle diseases like cardiovascular disease. We are losing millions of life yearly because of high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. millions of around 25 to 26 lakhs people die in India only because of these diseases annually. Type 2 diabetes is one of the most common cause of this like lifestyle disease. And type 2 diabetes is also like we are known as capital of diabetes in worldwide. We are having crores of people who are suffering from diabetes and pre-diabetes. We are having lots of joint problem, osteoarthritis. It's because of disease, because of obesity only. Respiratory problem like sleep apnea, breathing difficulty, even sudden death can occur because of this obesity and high BMI. Digestive disorder like GRD, acid reflux, fatty liver disease. As doctor already told you that every second person in India having right now grade 1 or grade 2 fatty liver disease. Mental disorders, depression, low self-esteem, anxiety, one of the most common cause of these sufferings from obesity and other lifestyle diseases. Reproductive issues. We are now having a pandemic, not a pandemic, epidemic of fertility problems in both men and women because of lifestyle disease, and one of them is obesity only. Lots of cancers are directly linked to the obesity, especially truncal obesity, that is around the abdomen. It means root cause for most of the like lifestyle disease is obesity, and that has to be, I think, understood by everybody. And I think Prime Minister already created awareness amongst us, and now we need to focus on, now we need to do something to not eradicate. It is not possible to eradicate obesity, even elimination is not possible, but definitely we can control obesity if we follow rules on our diet, lifestyle. If we do lifestyle modifications like we are doing, like he's already told about Fit India movement, where we need to do exercise and diet to have control all these diseases like obesity, diabetes, hypertension, asthma, COPD, increased risk. So definitely, I think lots of medical and non-medical things have to be done to control this obesity, especially non-medical things like we all know that currently the youth of India taking high level of processed food, sugary drinks, and unhealthy fats. I think that has to be controlled. Lack of physical activity. Most of the people in corporate and even households also, they are having sedentary lifestyle. They are not doing exercise. Everybody needs to do at least 30 to 40 minutes daily exercise and daily something cardiac exercise so that they can be fit and healthy. Most of the people in India also suffering from lots of genetic disorders that can cause obesity. There are hormonal imbalance like hypothyroidism and PCODs that is more common in females, especially the PCODs. Medication, most of several people, like several millions of people having dependent on steroid and antidepressant drugs. These can lead to obesity.
Okay.
Like there are multiple things, but I
Okay.
think Dr.
Okay,
Sika
point
told.
taken. I'll come back to you. Let me get in Gunjan Goyla once again. Gunjan Goyla, you've seen, of course, eating habits of Indians as well very closely. Being, of course, a chef for multiple years, a veteran now in the industry. But have you seen a trend towards healthier food in the last few years, or is it not so? Are people going towards unhealthier options? What's the trend you've seen in the last few years? Also, as far as the diet is concerned, what is the direct correlation of diet with being healthy, being fit, and also being less obese?
Old saying, "Jaisa खाए अन्न वैसा बने मन." I would also add, "जैसा खाए मन वैसा बने मन और वैसा ही बने तन." So diet is in absolutely correlation with your physical body. And one very important factor I would like to raise here is there isn't much awareness. So, if the PM has started this movement, I'm extremely happy because he was the one to have started yoga. And all of a sudden, yoga became a rage. I hope this also becomes in a similar pattern and people are conscious of what they are eating. He should raise a question, or some authority should raise a question on the food industry. More and more people are getting into packed food, and naturally, as somebody and like she said that you're getting bhujia for 10 rupees, that is the root cause. You see, buying a halwai se samosa is far better than eating that packed food. Why? Because उसमें इतने सारे आपके पास when you pack the food, you use so many chemicals. It goes through so many other processes which may not be directly healthy to your body. But the halwai who's making a samosa, it might look funny because most of the people say, oh, we are not eating a samosa, but they would eat a packed Lays chips or any other packed chips. I can assure you that is much more unhealthier than eating one fresh samosa. So that concept has to be, it's very important for all of us to understand. There should be more awareness camps. People should talk about the diet. People should be aware what is food and what is the each individual's intake.
मीटिंग में फिर दोबारा
Okay.
आपको
Unless
Oh,
until that happens, this movement
right.
is not going to be successful, because every individual should know what is best suited, because every body is very different, which I think Shikha would also agree with me. When a client comes to her, she plans a diet as per the individual. There is no fixed rule that one person can have this. Yes, on a very basic means or a basic
yes.
standard, you do fix certain amount of calories that each
Okay,
individual
Dr.
can
Anjali Huda,
consume.
let me quickly bring you back in here. As you were saying, you're specializing, of course, in countering obesity. What is the biggest cause of obesity in our country? And what is leading to this rise as well? Is it the eating habits? Is it the fact that more people now are doing desk jobs? So there's a more of a sedentary lifestyle, less outdoor time, more time with gadgets and, OTT and games and whatnot. Also, what are, small changes, like the PM of course suggested the oil change, you also, modified that a bit. What are other changes that people can, take small steps which can lead to big results later?
I think whatever you've summarized it beautifully. It's a mix of everything, but I still feel the major cause is overconsumption of carbohydrate as a food, and of course, not being able to burn that overload of energy that we are consuming. People are not going out enough, they are not having like sports as an activity. Even like I see people, kids in 11th and 12th grades, they're so striving hard to like study and being sedentary. Most of the obese patients are coming from that population. And also some people who are working, hustling hard and not able to exercise. They spend maximum time in the cars, traveling back and forth. They leave at 7, come back at 9. I don't think they have energy to work out. But that's what I suggest. Work out on the weekends. Make sure that on the weekdays your food intake is at least not as. I mean, it should not be a constant. The reserve can. You have to use a reserve. Not don't use add up more calories every time. And like I said, carbohydrate eating. Carbohydrate. I don't even mean by rice and roti. I actually mean by eating things like pasta, bread, pizza. I mean, all the the simple sugars, the not, I mean, simple carbs. People are just over consuming that. They're eating less vegetables, they're eating less protein. It's more, most fatty livers. I'll tell you, I've reversed fatty livers a lot, and most of them I have to take them off carbs. Carb is the biggest enemy, and I don't mean it by saying that leave roti and chawal. I mean, please don't eat excess carbs when you don't have the ability to burn them. Because no matter how much carb you will eat, you cannot burn. You cannot outrun a bad diet. So, consumption of food, which should be actually like a my plate method, which is a very easy method to follow. You can just Google it. My plate method is the best way to keep your carb, protein, and a balanced meal. And that everybody can do visually. You don't need a person, you don't need
Yes.
me, you don't need Shikha.
Okay.
You need, everybody can do
Yeah,
it.
that's a good point. Okay, Shikha, let me get you back in here as well on, certain cheat tricks. I want you to just tell our viewers certain cheat tricks that they can implement, which, can get them to leading a healthier lifestyle in a jiffy.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. And since you have said a healthier lifestyle, so I'll give you a holistic way. First thing is always remember that your morning time, you have to have vegetable juices. And when I say vegetable, it means vegetable juices. Very common, like for example, in the summers, you can have beta juice. Now, this is the season for amla, beetroot, carrot juice. Now, what it does is it fills your body with vitamins, antioxidants, keeps your body alkaline, and is a great way to start your day. So that is number one, amla, beetroot, carrot juice in the morning. Second thing I would say is breathing. Breathing is one of the most powerful stress busters, and it is very underestimated at how powerful it is. So alternate nostril breathing, Kapalbhati, all of them are actually very powerful. They not only set your metabolism, they also set your mind and your stress levels come down, your blood pressure comes down. So that is breathing. Third thing is that most people do not have time to go out and then run or exercise or do something within your bedroom, within your drawing room. Just do 12 Surya Namaskars every day. And this is not to burn calories. No, I'm not talking about burning calories. I'm talking about your spinal cord has to be very flexible for you to be healthy, because there is a relationship between a stiff spinal cord and many, many diseases. So, a Surya Namaskar, 12 rounds, everybody can do, people who do not have back issues. And finally, I would say, uh, keep your dinners light. Dinner, when you eat a very heavy dinner, you actually are overloading your machinery at a time when it needs rest.
Okay.
Like, you would not like to, at night, if your boss gives you a ton of work to do, you can't deliver in the morning. You can't. And it'll be a very bad quality work. Especially, and similarly, when you eat a very heavy dinner, your body is trying to sleep and you're giving it so much extra work. No wonder people are having health problems. So this is a very simplified way, I would say, make changes.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's certainly hope for a healthier India and a fitter India. But for the time being, my thanks to all of our guests for joining us on the broadcast. We've run out of time. Let's slip into a short break.